41 years ago.
10 years.
8 years.
The timing just wasn't right.
I want to find her because I lost her.
Does he know that I'm single?
I wonder if he's going to be tall, I wonder if he's going to be short.
I hope he doesn't have a beer belly.
I am extremely nervous.
Oh my God.
My name is Danny Miller. I'm 32 years old. I'm a film editor in Los Angeles, California. I'd like to be reunited with my high school garage band, the Ramblin' Beach Guys. Our group together represents a really great time in my life, possibly the best time in my life so far. The 5 main members were John Krivit.
Well, this is my bedroom that I grew up in as a kid. As you can see, my mother never took anything down.
Dave Halprin.
I'm a lawyer. I used to work on Capitol Hill. In the Ramblin' Beach Guys, I was originally the singer.
John Halprin.
I'm a newspaper reporter now. I used to be the drummer for the Ramblin' Beach Guys.
Those other guys knew each other before I got into the picture, and they had always wanted to have a band, but none of them knew how to play any instruments.
There were 3 of us, and the instruments were
Tennis rackets and bottles and things.
somebody played drums by hitting chopsticks on a desk, and the third person sang into a pretzel rod.
And just play to records and dance around and act like they were rock stars.
Until somebody ate the pretzel rod. That was usually me.
I met Dave Halprin, and I mentioned that I played guitar, and he said, well, we've wanted to get a band together for a long time.
Well, we brought in Danny Miller because he actually knew how to play an instrument and had some equipment.
So we got together, and they all went and bought instruments.
We had a lot of ideas, but no ability.
And I was the only person that knew any music.
Danny helped us translate it, and Mike Mahaffey, the other guitarist, into something that people could actually understand and hear.
My name is Mike Mahaffey. I'm a manager of the Delaware State Data Center. In the Ramblin' Beach Guys, I was rhythm guitar.
The drummer just started drumming right away, and John actually seemed to have some sort of innate talent.
We would pretend to be the Who.
My friend John Krivit, I taught him the bass.
I own a recording studio, so I produce all kinds of bands.
Just simple one note, each chord change, playing one note per chord change kind of thing.
John Krivitz was playing bass to start, although he later became a singer, and we got Steve Stavros playing bass.
I remember we had our first practice, and I think 2 weeks later, we were playing at a coffee house.
We played at school.
It was kind of unbelievable.
It
was fun. We were one of the only bands for a while.
We developed kind of a large following of fans.
I'm Harriet Lorensky, and I'm a school psychologist. I work in Washington, D.C., in the public schools there. I was a Ramblin' Beach Guy groupie.
We had a number of groupies, yeah.
It was pretty incredible, to go from just sort of playing in the basement and pretending to be a band to actually being a band and getting a response.
I'm Jill Goldberg, and I was friends with the Ramblin' Beach Guys, who were the high school band in our glorious high school days.
And we seemed to have a fan club. I don't know why.
This friend of ours, Deb Lewis, decided she wanted to form a Ramblin' Beach Guys fan club.
I am President Emeritus of the Ramblin' Beach Guys fan club.
Remember Debbie Lewis?
Sure do.
This is Debbie Lewis.
She was really into it. She was like the lead groupie.
I don't remember much about being president of the fan club.
They had a song called Surfing Batman, and I was a big Batman fan.
The original songs were the most fun to play.
I do not remember the Ramblin' Beach Guys' original song.
Surfing Batman.
It was a surf song about Batman.
And when we performed it, we would put on these Batman masks.
Oh, look at this.
Surf, surf, surfing Batman. No, I don't remember the Batman song.
Surf, surf, surfing Batman.
There was a song called I'm in Love with Murray's Neighbor.
I was trying to remember the words to it, couldn't do it. It creeps up every once in a while.
Which became one of the songs that was most beloved by our fans.
I truthfully can't remember some of the music that they played.
Our lead singer had a crush on a girl who lived next to our friend Murray.
I'm in love with Murray's neighbor, she looks good to me.
My musical horizon is incredibly well.
When they played Suffragette City in high school, I thought they wrote it. And I was only later to find out, much to my embarrassment, that David Bowie wrote it.
I did an article for the Black and White, which was a high school newspaper.
When June 78 called the road and the band split up. I don't even remember that, but I know that there were times when there were all kinds of personality conflicts.
we would break up, we'd get back together. I mean, it was, you know, like a high school romance or something, you know.
And one of the guys in the band, John Crivet, wanted to do some musical experimentation. He went off and formed his own band.
Called the Bugs. John had named the Bugs, and somebody made us this nifty hat that said the Bugs.
And I'd saved this because it made me so mad. I was so hurt and disappointed that anyone would want to leave the Ramblin' Beach Guys for another band.
We had a lot of fun. We played a lot of parties, and we threw a lot of our own parties too.
Sometimes there were the open parties, which meant somebody's parents went out of town and didn't know that people from 14 states were in their house.
I snuck into the math lab and rolled off 200 copies of a little flyer saying, come to Pluto's place for a token.
We were in 1978 after Animal House.
We would just play all night and scream toga, whatever that meant.
And I sent them out thinking that, you know, 200 people will read them, you know, maybe 50 people will come. And I remember looking down the street and seeing one headlight come in, and then another headlight, and another headlight. About maybe 700 people came.
I mean, it was completely idiotic, and we were glad to be part of it.
When high school ended, we didn't keep in touch very well after that. Some of these guys, Mike Mahaffey, who played guitar in the band, I don't think I've spoken to him since we graduated, 15 years.
But we all went off our separate ways and got into different kinds of things. And
He told me when I was little I had to play an instrument.
I used to like him playing the classical guitar better than the electric guitar.
So I played classical guitar for years.
The band was very loud.
I went from playing these, you know, lute pieces of the Renaissance to suddenly playing, you know, I Want to Be Sedated.
We enjoyed his band from afar. We
Very
heard him.
far.
And they suddenly went from pushing me to play to saying, well, the guitar's okay as a hobby. Then it came time for me to drive over to John Halpern's house. My mind's racing. You know, who's going to be there of our friends? And especially, you know, are we going to be able to play any songs? I'm a little nervous, but I'm very excited about some of these guys. I think I'm just going to be really worried about whether I can play Surfing Batman or not.
Oh my God, Danny!
I just went up and hugged him. And, you know, we never hugged each other when we saw each other back in high school.
You look exactly the same!
So it's just a very natural response.
There you go.
I brought the book you've been looking for. Oh, right. As each of the guys came down the steps. Hey, Mike! Just incredible. Very emotional. And a lot of positive energy. How are you?
Great to see you.
Hey,
He's got us all his hair.
It's fair.
what?
Excited to see all you guys.
Oh yeah.
It's funny how we all turned and looked at the equipment and weren't quite sure about what to do with it. I don't think so.
What do we do here?
Well, it's easy to play an instrument, but it's hard to remember. So I wouldn't know the first thing about what I'm supposed to do right now.
Well, did you bring your amp?
No.
We don't have enough plugs, do we?
That's a bass amp?
Do you guys have any extension cords? Okay, kids.
All right. When we were finally there all together, instruments strapped on, the hum of the amplifiers, was very familiar to me.
Danny, do you remember the song? Do you remember how it goes? I remember the sequence. David, do you know kind of the way it goes? Yeah. So everyone watch David, where it comes. Don't ad lib too much, okay? Oh, man. Keep it straight, that's right. Keep it straight. Murray's Neighbor, 1980.
It was a little ragged at first, everybody getting their fingers where they should be. But we very quickly got it back.
I'm in love with Murray's Neighbor, she looks good to me.
And all of a sudden the door burst open and these friends of ours came in one by one down the steps, and there was this energy that just came through. We didn't know who or we didn't know anyone of our friends who was going to come down. We didn't know who it was going to be. All of a sudden Joan came down and she came down the steps and I immediately dropped my guitar pick.
I remember that they were the happiest guys I knew.
Joan Medley is this girl who John was dating for almost our entire senior year of high school.
You know, I've been thinking about this.
In a kind of unpleasant turn of events, at the very end, she and I kind of started going out and caused some tension between John and me.
You know, I just love them each in a different way.
Now we're together. Murray's Neighbor and me. That's not Murray's Neighbor.
kind of mused later about it as being sort of a classic, rock and roll situation, kind of like, George Harrison, Pattie Boyd, and Eric Clapton. Maybe not quite on that level, but, all these years I wondered, am I ever going to perform with people? I thought there would never be any chance to ever get back together with these guys and actually play this song again. And it happened. Yay! This would never have happened without these other guys. As life goes on, the good times don't come as easy as they do earlier.
I've seen you before.
The best thing that will come out of this is that we'll be able to stay in touch. That we'll never be out of touch like we were before. John Krivitz had something that was very, very funny when he said that Danny Miller's rock and roll dream came true. I have to say that last night, my rock and roll really did come true.
I'm a psychiatrist, and I moved into a house that's right next to me. Lost some earrings that I'd had for about 25 years. They were diamond earrings, and they were quite valuable. Could not find them anywhere. And about 3 months later, when my mother was going through my bedroom, in the middle of the bed that she had already made up were the earrings. Probably whichever little ghost tends to play tricks with us a lot took them, wore them for a couple of months, and returned them. They came back in perfect shape.
If I would have got to meet her, I might have married her. I mean, that's how we did get to know one another through the letters. My name is Robert Cristiano. I'd like to be reunited with Gail Bittner. She was a pen pal of mine when I was in the service, and I never got to meet her, and I'd like to meet her.
I'm Gail Shirley, and we're in Cleveland Heights, which is a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm getting ready to fix dinner. I'm the director of liturgy and music for a Catholic church in the area.
My name is Trudy, and we're here in our home in Altaloma, California, and Bob and I have been married 21 years.
Excuse me.
Hasn't it been?
It's going on 23. When I was in the service, we were right off the coast of Vietnam. This one guy had his girlfriend sent him some pictures to hand out to guys to write to.
It was written up in all the magazines and Glamour and Mademoiselle, everything else we read, that a lot of the soldiers didn't have mail and they wanted contact with home. So everybody was passing around the address where to contact people and where to get in touch with some of the soldiers.
And he happened to show me the picture. And this girl was really pretty. And that's her picture. I had always wanted to meet her. I mean, because every now and then you think back and you go, well, what's going on? And then you go, I wish I'd have met this lady.
So Bob saved all of my letters in a shoebox. Oh, gee, what did I write when I was 16 and 17 and 18 years old?
Don't say, you sure wish we'll meet, because if you don't get up here, I'll drag you by the seat of your pants. Anyhow, I just might surprise you with a little visit. So don't fall in love or anything for a while. At least wait until we get to meet.
When I received Bob's first letter, he sent a picture.
This is a picture of me when I was about her age. Now, don't anybody laugh. If I would have got to meet her, I might have married her. I mean, that's how we did get to know one another through the letters, so and we hit it off on the phone, we hit it off through the mail, and it was just one of those things.
And he was just interesting. He just, I know that his letters were fun to get.
When I got home out of the service, and I was able to call her up and talk to her on the phone, there was really no difference between what she wrote in her letters and the way she responded to anything I said over the phone.
We had several phone calls together, and I had at that time wanted to fly out to California.
If I could have got a hold of a ticket, and if I would have flown out there, we probably would have been an item. Yeah, it would have progressed farther than letter writing, that's for sure. I think a good place for us to finally meet would be out here. The reason is that she may not have ever been out here before, and if she doesn't remember me, she just might come for the plane ride.
I think that having Bob come over to my home, to our home, is the most genuine thing that you could do.
I get a free ride to Cleveland, which is really super, and then I don't have the slightest idea what I'm going to tell her at all. I don't even know if I should give her a hug. I don't know, I give her a hug and then I have to hug the husband, so I don't know.
A lot of my friends have said, you're going to go let him see a girl that he wrote when he was in the service, and I've always been real confident with our relationship, and he's so excited about it.
And I'm just real excited and happy to meet him. I can't wait to give him a hug.
Flew out of Ontario. Watch is all off because there's 3 hours difference. I want to sleep, but you can't. Then when I did, it was time to get up. Talk about being conscious of how you walk. I just didn't know what I was going to say. I thought, well, here we go, gang. This is it. And you wonder if people are going to be disappointed. I didn't want anybody to be disappointed. I knew I wasn't going to be. I didn't care what happened. Hey.
Welcome.
When she first opened the door, and because I had been geared to looking at the picture, and I was looking at the picture so much to see if I could recognize her, you forget that you put 30 years between that picture was taken and the one that's going to be in front of you.
I don't know you very well at all, except through our letters, and you're already ending and beginning my days for me. I love you. I don't even know how I can say that. Here you are, the boy of my dreams, and so far away. But you're close in my own private little world, and for present, I guess that'll have to do.
Quit reading that. That's tough. It just kind of affected me a little bit, Don't read the letter.
Reading the letters afterwards, it's just amazing how much of that really happened in our lives, that we didn't get to see each other for a lot of years. This is my husband Bill, this is Bob.
I'll wait till you come in.
Okay.
How you doing? Please meet you. What a good sport.
The Navy guy.
It was really exciting to finally meet somebody after 30 years of writing. Just wrote for a few years, but not knowing what was going on with his life, not knowing how he'd changed, and it was real pleasant.
A really nice family. They pulled it off really well. Guess who's coming to dinner, Here's some stranger.
A long time ago, when I was in high school, I had a pen pal. How many of you know about pen pals? Anybody have a pen pal? Okay, good. Well, I had a pen pal who was on a ship in a place called Vietnam.
When I said goodbye to Gail, I can't remember saying goodbye to Gail. So maybe there's no goodbye. I don't know. I can't remember saying goodbye.
We're friends.
It's just super nice. I'm just glad it happened again. It's just nice to find somebody that you thought you lost.
This was Jonathan's first flight ever. And because of flying standby, I had the suspicion that our luggage would not be there. This was Jonathan's first time to pick up his own luggage, and he saw the other people doing it, and he kept on wanting to be able to pull his luggage off the rack.
Do you know where my luggage is?
Well, which flight were you on?
I try to put a lot of responsibility on the children and let them have a little bit of freedom.
Can you transfer from 1579?
And then they put you on the other flight? Is that what happened?
They like to be a part of things that are going on.
When the flight gets here that he was originally on, get his bags off and we'll send him out to him.
Jonathan was so worried about my skis showing up. They might have to ship our luggage. Well, how will they get our luggage to us?
The airline's got your luggage for you. All right, take care, guys. Good night.
Wait, hold on.
Sure. Oh, thank you.
The luggage did show up, and everything was well.
The main members were John Crivet,
Well, this is my bedroom.
Dave Halprin,
I'm a lawyer.
John Halprin.
I'm a newspaper reporter now.
Rambling Beach Guys sounded good for a high school.
The Batman song was really entertaining. When I was in high school, it was my dream also to be a singer or a dancer or an actress.
Never even came into my mind to be a rock star.
I never really had any aspirations to be any rock and roll star at all.
Sometimes it can be maybe a little frustrating or disappointing to yourself knowing that you didn't pursue your initial goals.
I'm putting a lot of pressure on them, but I think the most important thing was that they had fun doing it.
There was a lot of energy and just happiness.
I love watching stories of past relationships. When you watch Lost and Found, the people involved become almost like old friends. Join us again next weekend for another peek into people's past lives on Lost and Found. Will they still like each other? Have there been many changes? We'll see. Stay with us for Hooperman next on FX.